Welcome back, everybody. Oh, my mom's excited today.
Yay.
Well, no dog is born a perfect angel. I think my mom thinks Milo was born a perfect angel, but it's up to each pet parent to teach him how to behave. Whether it's a brand new puppy or a fully grown adopted dog, the rules of dog training can apply to every canine, no matter the age. Here was some advice on bad behaviors in dogs. Give it up to one of the best, Katie Canine, everybody. Hi, love.
Hello. And your mom's starting all over now?
My mom is starting all over with Winston.
Yep.
She adopted a dog. God bless her. She lost her beloved Radar. She had a Mastiff the size of a T-Rex. And I said, Mom, if you're going to get another dog, because you're this is how big my mom is, get a slightly smaller dog for the love of Pete.
Yes. Yeah. And he's a cutie.
He's a cutie, too. Okay, let's go. I want to get through so much. So let's start with a very generic case. And I'm going through this a little bit. With Milo and Elliot barking and going bananas at the door.
Okay.
How do you handle that?
Well, the first thing you've got to is you have to quiet word. You know, create a quiet word. Whether it's quiet enough, shut the heck up.
Yeah.
And so they when they bark, you can teach them that. So this is plain water in here, okay? And let's say as they're barking, you're going to give a growl. Most dogs are no to death.
You growl, not the dog.
Right.
You growl, yeah, okay.
But most dogs are good. No, 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 no what? So you got to teach the dogs words and what they mean. So as the dog is barking, you're going to give a growl. That gets their attention, okay? And then you're gonna blast them in the face with the spray of water. And then
Jeff does the same thing to me when he has the, Katie, if you can just leave that water bottle for Jeff, that would be great. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
So blast, quiet. And as soon as they quiet, and this is where people get themselves into trouble. They go good girl or good boy.
Yeah.
Every time you say good girl or good boy, the dog's like, yes, I'm a good boy. They get all crazy in the head. And so now they're all ramped up again. So anytime the dog does something well for you, you calm and go, thank you, or very nice. Now you're being calm and steady, and the dog's gonna be calm and steady. So it's blast, quiet for about 5 times. Then it's gonna be quiet. If they don't, then they get the blast, quiet. Now some dogs are sound sensitive, usually small dogs. Take a beer can. What I had is what I had.
That's right.
Okay.
Katie could have picked Pepsi. She could have picked Sprite. Nope. Go right for the beer, Katie.
I rinse it out, put 5 pennies in it, tape the top of it with bright tape so that you know this is your shake can and not the one you're drinking. Okay?
Yeah.
And so then you go, shake the can, quiet. Or, hey, enough. Okay, whatever your word's gonna be. And so the first 5 times, shake, quiet. Then it's gonna be quiet. And if they don't, then you shake the can. Because you want them to learn the word, so you don't need this.
You have given me, and here I'm going to back up, not that you need me, but I've known Katie for almost 20 years, trained many of my dogs. That is one of the most effective things, no matter all my dogs, Dexter, Mr. Big, all of them have reacted to the can.
Yep.
Milo looks at me like I've just ruined his day when I shake that at him. Yeah.
Because see, most small dogs are sound sensitive, like your labs. They're kind of look at you like, get a life.
Yeah.
And so let's say you use the water on a lab. The lab's gonna go, got it. Got it. Okay, then what you're going to do is go half organic apple cider vinegar and half water, and just aim for the nose or for the mouth. Because see, it's what it is. Everybody, when you say apple cider vinegar, everybody goes, okay, because of the taste. Dogs have 1,700 taste buds. We have 9,000. So it's not the taste, it's the smell of the apple cider vinegar that gets in their nose and their mouth, and they're like, blah. And so they're going to listen to it.
Oh, okay. Now I've heard this. Now let's say you have guests at the door, and what's the technique to get them to not go nuts and jump on a guest?
Okay, first of all, you're gonna set them up. You're gonna practice it. You're gonna put the dog on a leash, one dog at a time, and you're gonna practice. Okay, so what's gonna happen is, as companies coming in north and south, you're gonna be facing east and west. So people are walking past you. And what you're gonna do is ask the dog to sit, and you want them to sit. Now, most people don't get the dog to focus, to hold. So the best thing to do then is just step on the leash, not pin them to the ground, but just when you're sitting, the collar's a little snug, okay? So then now if the dog tries to lurch out as your company, they correct themselves. There is to be no greeting of the dog at the door by anybody.
Yes.
It's a big no-no. They can say hi to you, but they can't greet the dog. That's going to come a little bit later, okay? Usually it's the first 15 minutes to a half hour, whether once the dog gets used to the smells and the sound of the people, then now they're calm. And then you get off the leash, and then, you know what I mean, then they can go say their how-dos.
I had parts of the staff over this weekend, and they walked in, and Jeff came in, Eric came in, and Eric, the boys love Eric. I go, no, just keep walking, ignore them, come into the kitchen. And
you gotta totally ignore them. And so, but you have to have control of that door. And the same with you. When you come home, you don't greet the dogs are out of the kennel. You don't greet them. You walk right past. The front door, wherever you come in and out, is not a greeting place. That happens later. So they learn to walk next to you, waiting their turn to be addressed. Okay. But most people, I know, when you come home and that feeling like, oh, they love me. Look at this, and oh, little kissy kissy. And so, but then the dog's like, wow.
Yeah.
And so now everything's out of control, and they do it with everybody. And so that's why there's no greeting at the door by nobody. And so you have the dog, let them drag a leash around so that in case somebody does come, that you can just quick pick up the leash and then, you know, step on it, and then they walk past, and then you go sit down, keep them on a leash with you, so that then, and maybe sit on the leash, so you're part of the conversation, but the dog can't get to them. And then once the dog calms down, then just get off the leash, and now they can go say their how-dos.
The conversation will continue next. We're going to talk about barking of all kinds when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Yeah, that has worked. Milo's learning. Like, they came over.
Let's make it.
Don't forget, search for Katie K9 wherever you get your podcasts for the Katie K9 Show all across the country. And we're back with Katie talking about how to break bad behavior in dogs no matter their age. We sometimes talk about puppies. Today it's all ages. Let's talk the overarching topic of barking.
Yeah.
What do you do?
There again, blast, quiet, okay, the shake hand. But this is something that it was out a long time and it's come back in. Ultrasonic sound. Okay, this is a pitch only a dog can hear, but you can only do it if you have one dog. You know, if you have multiple dogs, if they're both barking, then you can hit the button and it emits a sound that the dog is like, whoa. Okay, but you have to say your word, quiet, as you hit the button. So then pretty soon all you need is a quiet word, okay? But you can only use the ultrasonic sounds if you have one dog or multiple dogs doing the same thing.
I do have this situation. Milo, my boxer, my mother's beloved, can't do wrong dog, if she only knew. Milo doesn't bark. My Frenchie, I never had a dog be barky. Mr. Big never barked his whole life. Elliot barks at a cotton ball.
Yep.
I mean, you know what I mean? So so maybe I'll do it with him because Milo won't care.
Yeah, but Milo has to be barking too. Okay, only if you have multiple dogs, you can only use the ultrasonic sound if they're both doing the same thing.
Oh, because Milo, yeah.
Right, and so otherwise you're gonna have to use the other things. But you know, let's say you're sitting on the couch and the dog comes up to you and sits in front of you. Okay, then all of a sudden they bark at you. Ruff. Okay, everybody, this is what they do. They lean in and go, what? You gotta go potty? You want a treat? You know, you go through the list.
We do that.
Yes. Okay, so then what happens, all of a sudden, every 2 seconds, a dog is coming and barking at you, and it gets worse. So the worst thing you can do is answer that, you know, woof. Then just look to the side, a side profile to a dog is a calming signal, and then glance back, but don't look at the dog. Then if he barks again, and if he gets really, just get up and go. Go behind the door, shut the door. So now barking at you means you leave. I don't think I want that. And so what you never have your dog ask you for something, you know, for your attention, because then they're barking at everything. And so they don't need to talk about it. In your head, when they bark at you, think in your head, does he have to go potty? Is there a treat? Think in your head, don't answer the bark. That's the big thing. And then if they really get barky, like I say, then you just leave. Go into a bedroom, bathroom, shut the door, and then eventually they're not gonna do that anymore.
How about barking in a car?
Same thing. What you're gonna do is set him up. You're driving, you know, I'm controlling.
Yeah.
And so then he's gonna learn the words, quiet. And so then you don't need this anymore. So in the car, they should be quiet. There should not be any, and so many people rev their dog up. Like, want to go for a walk? Want to go for a car ride? Right, and then the dog's like, you bet! And so now you're just revving your dog up, and so they're hysterical in the car and hysterical on their walk. You know, you just be calm. Be what you want the dog to be.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. And let's say when you go grab the leash, the dog starts barking and going hysterical. Okay, then go sit down. Okay, and then have them come over. Come
Teach them that there's no reward for acting a fool.
You got it.
Yeah.
And so then call them over, hook the leash on. Okay, and then maybe go get a drink of water and go putz. And then go pick up the leash. And then calm me, walk towards the door. Drop the leash and go another way. And so pretty soon the routine you have set, you just started breaking. So they're not sure where you're going or what you're doing. And so then pretty soon they're calm and they're waiting for you. What are you going to do? Okay?
Oh, I love that. Yes.
And then also when a dog is barking, everybody starts getting louder, knock it up, bad dog. And the dog's like, let's bark together, okay? And the louder you become, the louder the dog becomes. And so it is in kid world, when a baby's crying, if you go real quiet, what's wrong? All of a sudden the baby's quiet, just gets quieter, quieter. So when your dog is being obnoxious, go calm. What?
Does this work on adults too?
Yes, it usually does.
Katie's sticking around to answer your dog training questions when we come back in a moment. That is great.
There you go.
And that is applicable. We are back with dog trainer extraordinaire, Katie K9. She's answering your questions that you guys submitted on the Jason socials. But first to kick us off, Fallon has a question.
I always do. Okay, so I've never experienced this. I've had friends who have had this. My newest addition, he's like a year now. He loves eating poop. And I don't know what to do. We give him great, delightful food. He loves it. But he prefers poop.
Yeah. And dogs have an uncanny ability to find in nature what they're missing in themselves. Okay, and so when the dog eats poop, whether it's rabbit poop, their poop, whatever, it tells you that their gut is missing flora, and so you need a digestive enzyme. And I would do a probiotic also. You can also add how many pounds? What is he, about 25?
20, yeah, 20, 25.
Okay, so you could do like a teaspoon of organic apple cider vinegar in the food. Or mix it with canned pumpkin or yogurt, and because that has the flora in it, and that will hurry up and get into there. But I would definitely do a digestive enzyme. You know, people are told to run around, put cayenne pepper on it and Tabasco sauce, and the dogs, remember, they don't taste like we do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they go over there, well, Ma seasoned it. This is great. You know, and while you're running around doing all this, you could be picking it up.
Yes.
What flavor is this?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's get to the questions.
So, yeah.
First up is Kelly. Hi, Kelly. She writes, hey, Katie, what's the best way to handle an older dog behavior with the new baby in the family?
Okay, if it's an infant, what you want to do, and this is for all mothers to be too, take a bandana and rub it on the child, okay, and get the scent on it and put it on the dog. So the dog is wearing that kid's scent all the time and he's sleeping with it, or take a towel and rub the kid down and put that in the dog's bed. So that, because dogs want to get up and smell the kids. They're all about smell. So by letting them wear it, all of a sudden the kid's sitting with you, the dog comes by, oh, I know that smell. And so they just keep right on going. But then the biggest challenge is when they become toddlers. You know, when the kids are starting to walk, they want to grab ears, they want to grab tails, eyeballs, things like that. And so that's where you got to protect your dog space and the child's space. Let's say the dog wants to get away, he's looking for the exit. He goes underneath the table to get away. Here comes the child. Now the mom or dad should grab that kid and get him out of there, because the dog is saying, I don't want this. And if the kid proceeds, that kid's going to get bit, because the dog is trying to say, leave me alone. He's trying to go behind a couch, and the child is proceeding. But if you got a new infant in, the whole thing is about smellability. And I like to teach the word back before the baby lands, because if the dog gets too close, back. You know, so that he can be over there, but I'm over here with the child. Okay?
Yeah.
So.
Let's get to Patty. Hi, Patty. Thanks for writing. Hey, Katie. I have an 8-month-old golden who seems to have forgotten all the training we've been teaching. How long does this rebellious stage last? Also, any suggestions for toys that last more than a few hours? This is called regression. You've told me about this. So everyone, all the puppies go through it.
Just reiterate your training, because we get complacent, whatever. Where they're walking on a leash, and then all of a sudden we're letting them scan, and then all of a sudden they want to be out there and they don't want to be with this. And so it's just keeping up with training and going with your, there's a time to scan and there's a time to pay attention. You know what I mean? I drain the brain, tricks. Get the dog to look at you for things that you need. Every dog should learn one new thing every week, whether you name a toy. Like this week we're playing with Pinky Dog, okay?
Yeah.
All the other toys are away. Dogs, just like two-legged kids, have way too many toys.
Yes.
And so they look at them all and they go, yeah, what else? So you go and buy them a new one to add to the menage. No.
Don't do that.
And so the thing is that as far as chewing, the best thing is give them a raw carrot. Give them a head of cauliflower. Cauliflower is meant for dogs because it stinks so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, because it chews out there, some people, they go and get the squeaky toys and they almost time how long that's going to last before the dog destroys it. That's the wrong thing. You're teaching the dog to shred things, and that's wrong. Okay, antlers, okay, yeah, the problem with that is that's like chewing cement, and you're going to crack teeth, okay? And so the Kong family, the red Kongs are for dainty chewers, and the black Kongs are for hard chewers. Okay, so use something like that. But I'd rather go natural, whereas a big carrot, head of cauliflower, broccoli.
Fallon, you're going to have to stop giving me the antlers.
But you love them, Jason.
I do love your, yeah. Let's do one more, yeah. Kristen. Hi, Kristen. She writes, my 5-year-old lab licks our hands all of the time. Is this a behavior that we should be concerned about, or are we good?
That's a term of endearment, like, oh, I love you. But it gets obsessive. My Elsie was a licker. And so what you do is, as they're licking and get into it, then you just slowly come underneath and just kind of grab the tongue gently and just go, no lick. And when they start going, then you let go, and then, oh, very nice. That was very nice. Remember, don't say good girl or good boy. Okay, if they start licking again, no lick. Pretty soon they're going to put it right in their mouth like, never mind.
Yeah.
But you don't grab the tongue like, gotcha. It's just very dense. So you just very calmly, or like I say, you can use this, as they start to lick, no lick. But,
by the way,
but give it a word, not no.
By the way, keep that away from Fallon. I don't want her having that spray bottle. It's nothing but trouble. Give it up for Katie K9, everybody. Learn more on the website, ktk9.com. And search for Katie K9 wherever you find your podcast. We'll be right back. Stay with us, folks. Back in a moment. That was great, my friends.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Oh,